first, before we get to the actual stuff, let's review long division. What? Long division? Well, that's like fourth grade. Yeah, we're going to review. So, what is long division? First, some key terms. Well, actually, no, we'll do it, and then we'll talk about the key terms. What is 2,150 divided by 25? Well, first, if it's written like this, you put the first number in a box. What's in a box? 2, 1, 5, 0. Okay, you're dividing that by 25. And then you think, okay, first you look at these first two things. Actually, you look at the first digit, this first digit, and it's too small. You want it to be bigger than 25, otherwise you can't divide it. And then you look at the second two digits, or the first two digit, whatever. And that is also too small. I want it to be bigger. And so you look at these things, and it's like 215. So I'm thinking, what times 25 gives me 215, or something close? Well, this is like a quarter. So what would give me like $2? $2. 2 is 4? No, that's $1. 8. So maybe I'll do 8 up there. And then in my head, I'm thinking 8 times 25. What is 8 times 25? Well, that's 200. Okay, that's pretty nice. And then I subtract it, right? I subtract it. I have to subtract. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus 2 is nothing. So that goes away. All right, we have positive 15. And then I bring down the 0. Now I'm thinking, what times 25? What? I don't know. Times 25 gives me 150. That's like $1.50. Well, what times... and you can use a calculator for this. Or you can use a calculator for the other stuff too. But it's easier with polynomial. What? Polynomial long division. So, what times 25? Well, 4 is $1. 5 is $1.25. 6 is $1.50. All right? And then we subtract again. Remember, you subtract. And we have 0, 0, 0. It all goes away. It's a 0. Okay. So, that's how you divide 2,150 divided by 25. The answer is 86. 86. So, let's look at some names first. Your answer, this thing right here, that's called the quotient. That's your answer. Okay? That's the term for that. Whatever you're dividing, this thing in here, that's called the dividend. Dividend. And then what you're dividing by, that's called the divisor. It's what you divide by. Okay, and then there's one more piece, and whatever number is left over, that's your remainder. And it's always smaller than your divisor. If it's not smaller than your divisor, like over here, then you have to keep doing some kind of dividing. So always smaller than divisor. Okay, so those are the names. Let's do one more example of just regular division where it doesn't go in evenly. Let's do that. So we have those key terms, those like vocabulary words. All right, let's see. Let's stick with 2,150. So what about 2,150 divided by 21? Okay, this is the dividend. This is the divisor because we're dividing by 21. And so I put the dividend in a box, 2,150, and a 21 outside. And then I look at the first, oh, no, that's too small. It needs to be bigger than my divisor. Is it 21? Ooh, a 21, that's a perfect. 21, that would be just 1, yeah? 1 times 21, that is 21. 21. And then I subtract. So, and that's 0. Oh, so that goes away. So you might think, oh, this is a remainder of 0. But no, we still have numbers to bring down. We knew that we didn't have to go anymore because we didn't have any more numbers over here to bring down. So, what did I just do? Yeah, so that goes away, and then I'm left with 50. So I bring down my 5, and then the 5 is too small. I'm thinking, what times 21 gives me 5? Oh, that's too small. So I'll make it a little bit bigger by bringing down my 50 as well. Okay, now what times 21 gives me, so what? Actually, wait a minute, did I miss something? I think I did. Let me back it up a little bit. So I know that I couldn't do anything for the 5. I couldn't do anything. So I had to put a 0 in that place. And then 0 times 21, that's 0. So I brought down this number, and since it was too small over here, I had to put a 0 there. Now I'm thinking, what times 21 gives me, and then I bring down my 0, 50. So I do have to bring down one place at a time. So that's a 50 there. Now, what if I do it times 2? That's 42. Do it times 3, that's too high, 63. So let's multiply by 4. 4 times 21 is, whoops, why did I do 4? I meant 2. 2 times 21 gives you 42. Okay. And then I subtract, and that gives me 8. Okay. Then there's nothing, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's nothing that I can divide. Normally we would put on decimals and then, put a decimal there and then keep going. That's 80 until I get something. But for this case, we're just going to say, okay, this is done. We can say 2,150 divided by 21 equals 102 with remainder 8. Sweet. That's it. That's reviewing the long division.